Orgeron, like Pete Carroll, owns a national championship ring at the collegiate level. Unlike Pete Carroll, not given nearly as much credit for that national championship for a number of reasons that we would go into, but most college football fans are aware of a situation that was stacked in Orgeron's favor because of Ed Orgeron's time at USC, and many had pushed at that time for him to retain that job and bypass the interim label after a 6-2 run during the 2015 season, correct? 2014 season. No, we're going back before that. What year was that, Matt? 2013 season, yeah, because Helton would have been taking over in 2015. That Ed Orgeron, of course, again, yes, and so there is talk based on what Ed Orgeron had to say this week on the Dan Patrick Show that he would be open to coming back to coaching after a year off. That makes that initial that connection to USC a talking point.
Yeah, so it's obviously an interesting talking point, and hey, that's what the Dan Patrick Show is designed to do: provide talking points. I mean, we saw USC's Carson Palmer float some coaching rumors during the coaching search on the Dan Patrick Show. So they're getting the names out there, but it really doesn't have legs, or at least it certainly shouldn't, because we need to remember this: Ed Orgeron wasn't dismissed from LSU just because of the on-field stuff and the lack of wins and the inability to sustain the program after Joe Burrow left. It's also because his private life got pretty messy. There was inappropriate behavior, clouds of controversy and scandal off the field. That was part of the mix. And so USC under the Lincoln Riley regime, first off, you just don't need that kind of headache. You don't need to invite those questions. You want to have staffers that don't bring any of those extra complications. But the other thing is, Lincoln Riley having Ed Orgeron on his staff, like that doesn't sound like a fit. That there's just cut from very different cloths in terms of personalities, styles, what they're looking for on the recruiting trail, how they go about their business. Lincoln Riley's assembled a very young coaching staff, no one over 50 on that staff. And I know that Ed Orgeron has, a track record as a superb recruiter, but like he's had his time, and it certainly seems as though no one should be coveting Ed Orgeron's services. I sincerely think that there's a very good chance that his coaching career is completely done. Like it's run its course. Maybe there's a lower level, group of 5 program that would be willing to hire him, maybe make a splash. If it's existing in obscurity, maybe you take a chance on Ed Orgeron. But I just can't see him latching on as a high-profile recruiter assistant type at a prominent program, USC very much included.
To draw a few parallels to Les Miles, I'm not going to take Ed Orgeron into that category, but Les Miles brought recruiting violations from Oklahoma State that were well publicized and documented in Sports Illustrated, most famously, to LSU. And then, of course, the program won big, but also ran amok under Les Miles off the field. And then he goes to Kansas, and they try to make the big splash. They do make the big splash temporarily. He doesn't improve the football program, and his issues follow him there. Ed Orgeron maybe took over a lot of off-field issues from Les Miles, but he certainly didn't do anything to clean them up by all accounts.